Hello, everyone, and welcome back. Today, we're diving into the world of a group of people who have mastered a lifestyle many of us are now yearning for, the Amish. They are famous for their self-sufficiency and their deliberate distance from modern technology. We're going to explore their secrets to living a simple, efficient, and community-focused life, and see what valuable lessons we can bring back to our own homes.
Life moves pretty fast. You don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it.
The first thing you notice about the Amish is their incredible sense of community. One commenter described them as the most prepared community because they stick together like a beehive. It's a place where everyone helps each other out. One viewer who lives among the Amish calls them Christian brothers and would protect them if needed because they are such hard-working and friendly neighbors. This feeling of mutual support is what makes them so resilient. As one commenter pointed out, they take care of their own community first, and then they help others. This is a powerful lesson for us all. Building strong relationships with your neighbors is the best form of preparation. My little tip is to start with something simple. Bake a batch of cookies and take them over, offer to water your neighbor's plants when they're away, or just sit on your porch and say hello.
Things you own end up owning you.
A huge part of the Amish lifestyle is self-sufficiency, and that starts with growing their own food. One viewer shared that they moved out of the city and now grow most of their own food on a sustainable farm. Another said an Amish neighbor was thrilled to find out they were raising chickens and starting a garden. The Amish are known for their healthy, fertile fields, which they keep that way by constantly adding composted manure and other organic waste, instead of using chemicals or pesticides. This leads to great health and healthy kids. But it's not just about farming. The Amish are masters of craft. Many have branched out into industries like furniture and cabinet making. One viewer bought some gorgeous, high-quality kitchen cabinets from an Amish woodworker for less than half the price of other options. The secret is that they use low-tech manual tools and their incredible skill to create these amazing products. Another viewer even mentioned a special hand-cranked machine they use to make corrugated steel roofing. These are skills, like blacksmithing and iron forging, that are being lost today, and as one commenter put it, are extremely important. My advice is to start learning a practical skill. Whether it's woodworking, sewing, or even canning and preserving food like one person learned, these skills are invaluable and can save you money while making you feel more self-reliant.
That the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few, or the one.
The Amish are self-sufficient and not reliant on modern technology, but they aren't completely against it. They use what they need, but in a smart, sustainable way. For example, some Amish families use solar power systems mainly to run freezers, which helps them preserve a lot of meat and vegetables. We even heard about an Amish shop that uses a windmill to create compressed air, which then powers ceiling fans. Talk about Amish air conditioning. This is a great lesson for us. How can we use technology in a way that is energy efficient and has a lower impact on the environment? Some Amish also use diesel generators to run equipment like milking machines and tools in their workshops. However, they don't have indoor plumbing, and some don't use anything with a motor. It's a balance, and they are always thinking about backup plans. A great example is a story from a viewer who talked with an Amish minister. When asked what he would do if he ran out of gas for his water pump and the power was out, the minister replied he would just go to the gas station. This shows a potential weakness in their system, a reliance on the outside world without realizing the interconnectedness of modern systems. My advice is to always have a backup plan for your backup plan. For water, for example, one viewer had a great tip suggesting a non-freezing hand pump and a drill to get to groundwater. These simple tools are so important to have on hand.
It's not who I am underneath, but what I do that defines me.
When it comes to personal safety and preparedness, there are different views even within the Amish community. The traditional view is that they are pacifists and don't believe in self-defense. However, one viewer who grew up Amish shared that while their uncle's community was very strict about this, many people in their area are starting to realize the need for self-defense and even have permits to carry handguns. Another commenter told a story about an Amish shop owner and his wife who bravely disarmed a robber with a cordless saw, showing that when their family is threatened, they will stand and fight. The takeaway here is that being prepared means knowing how to protect yourself and your loved ones, a lesson some of the Amish are also learning.
After all, tomorrow is another day.
A lot of us are looking for a more self-sufficient, green, and frugal lifestyle. Living off the grid is a great way to achieve this, and it's a journey of continuous learning and adjusting. This section shares tips on water systems, home maintenance, and the importance of staying active. Harvesting rainwater is a viable and cost-effective alternative to drilling a well. Drilling a well can be expensive, sometimes costing up to $10,000 to $20,000. A good rainwater collection system, like a 3,000-gallon gravity-fed system, can be installed for much less. For daily use, a multi-stage filter system is key to ensuring the water is clean and safe to drink. A typical setup includes a carbon filter and threaded sediment filters. The threaded filters are effective at removing sediment and other large particles, while the carbon filter is great for removing odors. A plumber with 19 years of experience recommends putting the carbon filter after the sediment filters so the carbon filter will last longer. For an upgrade in water filtration to handle contaminants like heavy metals, viruses, and bacteria, you can use a Berkey water filter system. This system is designed to remove a wide range of harmful agents, ensuring 99.99% purity. You can fill the top chamber with water and gravity pulls it through the filters into the bottom chamber. The filtration process is slow, so it's important to monitor the water level to avoid overflowing the top chamber. A helpful tip from a viewer is to add a food-grade bucket and a spigot to the Berkey system to catch any overflow and simplify filling. The filters need to be primed before use, a process that involves running water through them to remove any dust or particles from manufacturing. Regular maintenance of your water system is crucial. You'll know it's time to change the filters when the water flow from the spigot slows down. To make filter changes easier, especially with threaded filter canisters, you can apply a little silicone lubricant to the O-rings on the threads to prevent dry out and make them easier to remove. To live a self-sufficient, green, and frugal homesteading lifestyle, it's important to be prepared and physically active. Homesteading is a physical lifestyle, so staying in shape is crucial. Keep your body supple and flexible by stretching and moving, especially as you get older. A viewer who owns a landscape company agreed, saying, "Core strength is key, and keeping yourself flexible is a must for this kind of work. You should also be resourceful. If you can't afford a specific piece of equipment, figure out how to make a similar version yourself. For instance, you can create a gravity-fed water system using stainless steel pots or other containers. Finally, always plan and prepare ahead. For gardening, this means starting to think about your fall garden and seeds for next year in the middle of summer.
Our left can be a very powerful thing. Why, sometimes in life, it's the only weapon we have.
In a world that's constantly moving, where life can feel like a blur of notifications, traffic, and endless to-do lists, there's a growing desire for something different. It's a longing for a simpler life, closer to nature, and free from the relentless pressures of modern society. This is a look into a lifestyle that many find inspiring, a way of living that prioritizes peace, self-sufficiency, and a deep connection to the natural world. The foundation of this life is a commitment to self-sufficiency and a whole foods diet. On his 50-acre homestead, with 20 acres dedicated to open land and gardens, a man grows organic potatoes, purple onions, and kale. He fertilizes his crops with manure from his horses, creating a symbiotic relationship with the land and avoiding chemicals, pesticides, or herbicides. This dedication to a healthy diet and fresh air is a key component of his strong immune system. He notes that since eating a mostly plant-based diet from his own food, he hasn't been sick. He demonstrates that you don't need modern technology to have a comfortable and functional home. Without conventional electricity or running water, he uses a wood stove for cooking and relies on a rain-fed barrel for water. He has a unique dishwasher where he washes produce and dishes in the creek behind his house. He's also able to keep leftovers fresh by placing them in a pot in the creek overnight. This lifestyle also includes a deliberate disconnection from the digital world. He has no cell phone, no internet bills, and uses a landline phone that he shares with an Amish neighbor. He says this choice gives him the freedom not to work the 9 to 5. Viewers admire this, with one commenting that he's a bad consumer and doesn't fit into any marketing campaign. While his life may seem like a lot of hard work, he argues that it's all about perspective. He points out that people with modern conveniences also work hard to pay their bills, often in stressful environments. In contrast, his hard work is done at home in a peaceful setting, training and shoeing horses. This work gives him a profound sense of satisfaction. One viewer commented that he is happy and clear-minded, and living off the land and seems happier than anyone I have ever met. His life is not one of isolation. He is part of a community and has close relationships with his parents and friends. His journey to this peaceful life hasn't been without its challenges. He recounts a time of deep depression after a leg injury left him with chronic pain. He had planned to end his life, until a thought from God made him realize how much it would hurt his mother. This experience led him to a stronger faith and a lesson in patience, which he also applies to his horse training. He encourages anyone thinking of ending their life to seek help through prayer, believing there is always hope. This man's life is a constant challenge to modern society's norms. He views negative information as a junk food diet that can make you mentally and emotionally sick, and he chooses to focus on the positive aspects of life. He reads history to learn from the past and believes that many of society's fundamental principles are based on biblical teachings such as the Golden Rule. As one viewer noted, "He is so intelligent and funny, I just love it. He is so rich." Ultimately, his story is one of finding true freedom and happiness off the beaten path. His simple, wholesome life inspires many and offers a different and perhaps better way to live.
But it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward.
Ultimately, their life shows us that true wealth isn't measured in money or possessions, but in the quality of our relationships, the skills we have to provide for ourselves, and the peace of mind that comes from living a simpler, more intentional life. As one viewer said, it's not about doing everything, but knowing what you could do. Thank you for watching, and remember, be strong, be of good courage, and keep living with a little more green wisdom every day.